Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time for better health, and if you're in the mood for really filling fall with a treat that's delectable, but you're also trying to cut back on the calories, well, we have just a thing for you.
Yeah, Ashley Brodeur from Active Lifestyle Fitness is in our kitchen to show us how to make healthy apple crumble bars. Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I was going to ask if you guys had been apple picking, but I don't think you're picking anything.
Yeah, I get out of all activities now. If anybody's watching and wants to know how that is.
No apple picking for you. But a lot of people have been out apple picking. What else do I do with them? You make a lot of desserts, but they're really high in sugar, high in calories. This recipe is actually also gluten-free and vegan, so you know, really healthy.
It's something a lot of folks are certainly interested in. Now, when it comes to this easy recipe, it looks like as well. Where do we start?
Well, we've got three separate parts. We've got the crust, we've got the filling, we've got the crumble on top. So we're going to start with the crust first. We're going to use almond flour instead of regular flour. That's what gives us the gluten-free part.
Okay.
So we've got 2 cups of flour here. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Alyssa, we're going to have you do 2 teaspoons of vanilla here.
I'm not the best cook or baker.
Speak to the importance of such a thing right now. This time of year, it really is a homey snack in a way that's also good for me and gives me that energy to start the day off.
Absolutely. Well, you know, this is a good, like I said, substitute for dessert. A lot of these desserts get really sugary. We're going to put a little bit of water in here. We're going to put a little bit of salt in here. I mean, I have the exact numbers on this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can.
Well, what makes these so healthy? So we're talking about the specific coconut
almond
oil,
flour, I assume, right?
Almond flour, all that really helps.
The almond flour. We're going to make this a little bit doughy. We need a little bit more water in here. We're going to turn this into a dough, and then we're going to put it into this pan here. We're going to spread it out on the bottom there. Still need a little bit more water in here, but we'll
get
pretend
the point.
that's doughy. So we're going to put that in there. We're going to flatten this out, spread out on the bottom there, and then we're going to bake it for 15 minutes or so in the oven.
What's the temp at? Do you know off the
350.
350.
Yes.
So
350, 15 minutes, spread out in the bottom of the pan until it's golden brown. Now, I saved us some time here, and I made this at home. It's the filling. So I diced the apples, but you can certainly, you know, slice them or spiralize them. I also found a recipe. You're going to do, that one's 3 or 4 apples, depending on the size of the apple. It's 1 teaspoon or tablespoon of coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Now, maple syrup is also vegan, so and I called the company. This is also vegan. This is the sweet leaf maple syrup that I like. It's low in sugar. So
we use that a lot. You bring that on here a whole lot.
You want to substitute out for it's sweetened with monk fruit and stevia, which is awesome. So you can use that as a substitute, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon in the filling here.
And that's how you get this.
Yeah, exactly. So after you have your dough layer, you're going to put your filling on top of the dough layer, spread that out nice and even.
Now, any specific apples though? I see there's red. Does Granny Smith, can you do it with those?
You
or does it matter?
Yeah. So I use Macintosh because I like Macintosh, but you could certainly use whatever you picked on the orchard that day. So
maybe hold off on Golden Delicious because they can become overly sweet.
Maybe. So for last, we're going to use walnuts for the crumble on top. About 5 ounces of walnuts here.
Now you're grinding those.
Yes, we're going to put those in the food processor. We got about almond flour, more almond flour, about 3/4 of a cup. We're going to use the maple syrup again. We're going to use 1/4 cup of that. More coconut oil. A teaspoon of cinnamon. You ready for another project?
Oh boy.
Teaspoon of cinnamon here.
This is how you get out of apple picking and out of cooking. You just
you can't do anything, right?
Projects today, but you know,
folks,
you're injured, so you get a pass.
Yeah, I have a weight restriction too. I'm not allowed to lift even 1 ounce according to the doc.
A little bit of salt. Sorry, you can just dump that in there.
Yeah, this is why I'm not the best baker or cook at home. So.
That's all right.
It's more of an eyeball type of thing, Alyssa. Don't worry.
And then we're going to grind this up into a crumble here. Let's see what that looks like. A little crumbly. Then we're going to crumble. We're going to put that on top of the filling, put it in the oven for another 15 to 20 minutes on 350 till it's golden brown on top, and that's what you have. Do you want to try
This is what, I'd love to try one of these.
They're very
soft
crumbly.
and warm still too.
Oh, they are warm.
Oh, yeah, these are heaven.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They're pretty good, not overly sweet, but pretty tasty and pretty healthy, of course.
And this right here is that recipe on your screen now.
Yeah, so for 1/16, it's 152 calories, 12 grams of fat, 11 grams of carbs, cut way down on the sugar, 5 grams protein too. Remember that if you use regular maple syrup, that's going to up your calorie count and your sugar count as well. So,
and if somebody wanted to see this recipe, they miss it right here?
Yeah, check us out on our blog, activelifestylefitness.com. It's listed right up there in the blog section.
Awesome. Well, that's delicious.
Also listed on the Western Mass News website as well, which is going nowhere. Ashley, for real. Great stuff.
Awesome.
You just made apple
Thanks for having me.